that's here to out there in the universe. There's other suns. 11 other suns. And then at 12 over here in the earth, I mean, there's the earth, there's other earths. And it's interesting because the Buddha said, this, when I say the Buddha says, this is coming from my teacher, Bhante Gunaratna. His picture's out there. I've been studying with him for, 40 years, 44 years. Still alive at 95, out in West Virginia. And we saw him, was it last year, sweetie? Last year, Thanksgiving?
A year.
Well, that'd be a year and a half almost.
I think he's 96.
Yeah, 96? Oh. And, he was recovering for some illness. He was getting back. So when I say that, he says the Buddha said there's 10,000 world systems out there in all the galaxies, the universe, quote unquote. And then I was reading something in Scientific American where the scientists were saying that the probability of there being more inhabited planets out there was probably likely around 10,000. So, curious coincidence there. You know. Okay, so 11 all suns, 12 all planets, 13 the ray of creation of the planets. It's like the creator kind of just, radiates out to a planet when it's ready and plants start arising. And, it's a curious thing. The Native Americans worship thunder, the thunder beings. And it's Wakinyan in Lakota. And the scientists also believe that basic biology, started being created, that, what was it, amoebas, the original kind of basic life form, by lightning actually striking the earth, and in particular, I'm trying to think, bogs, where there's water and stuff, that started causing, combinations that ended up being life forms. So that's the recreation of the plants. In the north, we have the recreation of the animals, of animal life. And then in the center, 15, we basically have the recreation of, humans or humanoids, or we don't know quite, haven't experienced that. Although I have to say there was a very strange configuration of UFOs that presented itself in the sky out here. 5 of them, all in line, came moving across and then went straight up and disappeared.
When was that?
When was that?
It was last summer.
It was last summer. And then I tell my native friend Clyde about it, and says, "Oh yeah, my daughter sees that, and my friend Chris down in Sunshine Canyon here also,
The mayor.
Yeah, Chris.
The mayor of Sunshine Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also has seen these. He won't even sit outside in the summer anymore. Too freaked out. So who knows what's out there? Maybe we're going to find out. Maybe they'll come save us from ecological disaster. Because we need some saving. Yeah, we don't seem to be smart enough. So we might need, some superior intelligence. So anyways, that's the 15. Then the 16 is just basically the world systems. You know, once again, the Buddha said there's 10,000 out there. And in 17 over here, you know, basically, which is freedom, Harley Swifter used the term kachinas. People know what a kachina is?
Mm-hmm.
No?
The little doll.
Yeah, you wanna bring that one in, sweetie?
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Broad face. The Hopi basically have kachinas and kachina dances, and this is broad face here. Comes from Reuben down there in Hopi. He's a protector here. Reuben told me I should get in, so I did. But that's interesting. So in theory, the kachinas for the Hopi represent all walks of life. You know, in their world, there was just 55 somehow. You know, essentially 55 trades and walks of life, and they have kachina dances. But so kachinas on who knows what planet out there, the same thing. Human-like beings out there are faced with the same difficulties we are. And essentially, you know, bringing it down to us, basically every walk of life is a path to freedom. You know, you don't have to be a guru. All you have to do is be awake in what you're doing in daily life. And we'll get into that next sweat lodge. Next sweat lodge is about waking down, using your daily life to basically pull yourself up by your bootstraps into an awakened state on a constant basis. So that's 17. 18 up here is the karma masters. Everywhere there's karma masters. And you know, we out there, we have the karma masters. I was saying earlier to John that you know, you got a problem in life and somebody's mistreated you or whatever, just hand it over to the karma masters. Don't go carrying around people's negative stuff. I mean, why we got these backpacks of all these problems we've had in life, and oh my God, I'm so burdened, I can't, you know. I've been damaged. Because I'm damaged, I can't accomplish what I want in life, etc. No, you're not damaged. One of the teachings in Castaneda, Journey to Ixtlan, whole chapter on it, erasing personal history. Just be done with the past, just move forward from here.
I read a chapter on prajna, and erasing personal history was in there too from a Buddhist perspective.
Yeah, you know, is anyways, as the AA people say simply, it's their stuff. You don't have to carry around their stuff. Of course, then Trungpa Rinpoche says, don't practice idiot compassion either. You know, people need to be confronted sometimes. They need feedback. And what do the therapists say? Tell them how it made you feel. How did you make me feel? I was pretty hurt. What you doing to her for? 19 over here in the Northeast. The 9 was the designs and concepts, the teachings, the Dharma, basically the avatars, the arhats, the avatars. those enlightened ones that are on earth right now and that are teaching. And every world system seems to come with its share of arahants, great teachers, Buddhas. Krishna, Christ, Muhammad, Lao Tzu, Buddha, etc. 20, basically enlightened beings. Go back to the source. As Harley put it, quite simply, keep going around till you get it right. Go back to the source for your next assignment. In other words, planet Earth might not be our only assignment. Because we're just basically energetic awarenesses that have become embodied. And embodiment can happen maybe in 10,000 different systems. So anyways, that's the Mayan 20 count right there. Now, how does that work with the crows? Well, like I said. Okay, so I go to my first Sundance, led by Joseph Real, out in Pennsylvania, the year's 1990. And I'll tell you a little brief story how I ended up there, okay? So I heard there was a Sundance. I said I wanted to go. I went out and prayed in the woods and said, Great Spirit, I'll go if you make it possible, okay? Because I'm building a Chick-fil-A restaurant and we got a deadline and etc. And as it turns out, basically I had some subcontractors that were going to work Saturday and maybe even Sunday of that weekend of this Sundance. So I'm just going, oh, Great Spirit, if you make it possible, I'll go. I come in Thursday morning to my job, and next thing I know, suddenly all my sprinkler system guys are gone. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I go out looking, and parking lot, their vans are gone. I'm going, oh, what happened? They have an emergency or something? I need these guys to do their work so my drywallers can come in, etc. Call up the company, and the gal says, the mall hasn't paid us in 6 months, and we just decided we were going to shut down all work in the mall until we get paid. They're 6 months in arrear on paying us. It's pretty typical for big mall companies, like it was Melvin Simons. And so I get on the phone to my home office and say, hey, here's what's going on, man, let's see if we can get these guys paid, put some pressure on the mall company, blah, blah, blah. And finally it comes back to me, well, as soon as I'll be back on the job is next Tuesday. Uh-oh, I gotta go Sundance. Uh-oh, I told the Great Spirit that if it made it possible, I'd go Sundance. Holy moly, I've never done anything like that. No food, no water, 3 days, I don't know. But, so it was, that's how I did my first Sundance. So, and things kind of work like that when you get on the path. Things work like that, and it's kind of amazing. So I get to the Sundance, and it's about day 2, and I'm really kind of getting zoned out. And I'm sitting there, and Crow comes and calls 18. It's Karma Master. I'm going, what? And it calls 5. It's man. Okay. Then it calls 9. Teaches. Then it calls 7. It it caused 2 path. Then it caused 7 path to freedom. So I get Karma Master Man teaches the path to freedom. That was the teacher. That was Joseph Rael. I said, okay. Come in the right place, working with the right person.
Mm.
So anyways, that's like, once you integrate and grok this teaching, which I had done pretty thoroughly, driving across the country and listening to the same tape until it embedded, you get teachings, get guidance, but have to be awake. You have to be aware of your thoughts moment by moment, because the crows are responding to your thinking.
Mm.
So you got to get the waking down piece also for it to be fully activated. And that'll happen next week.
Next week or
Next
month?
month.
Next month. Next month, and I won't be here, so you and Chris can teach that.
Okay.
Okay? I wrote it up, so there's something there. So is there any questions about all this?
Mm.
And I would just say this about the medicine wheel. So this is an 8-sided medicine wheel. There's others, 8-sided medicine wheels. And once you start studying the medicine wheel, it becomes a beautiful metaphor. You know, it's like a mandala, and each direction has the energies, and all these medicine wheels, you know, using different words for the different directions, all have the same energetic behind them. So medicine wheels teachings become really, really wonderful. I love them symbolically. And Harley Swift here, she was big into medicine wheels. So off those tapes I got some, and then every teacher I meet seems to have, you know, a different set of, you know, medicine wheel teachings.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph had several also. But that's really common in all the native traditions. And actually, if you go back to Greece, they believed in the 4 elements also. You know, and we'll probably sing to the 4 elements at some point. At least I have a song that most everybody who leads lodges has a song that invites in the sort of the powers of the directions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we
Would you
have
do-
fire, water, earth, air.
Would you do a lodge teaching also about the medicine wheel one day?
Oh yeah, well actually the waking down teaching is going to be a medicine wheel teaching,
Mm-hmm.
because basically what we're after is being aware 24/7 of what's going on in the mental, what's going on in the emotional, what's going on in the, you know, our bodies. And this teaching uses moving, being aware of moving, and then what's going on in our senses. So 24/7 monitoring of what's going on inside of us. And there's a simple exercise. You just keep asking yourself throughout the day, am I conscious? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Am I aware of movement? Am I aware of my environment? You know, the senses. And basically, in a nutshell, man who's totally locked up, this culture's locked up in the mental and the emotional. It's forgotten, you know, basically the physical and the environment. This culture's all lopsided. It's no longer holistic. And it's because we in ourselves are not holistic. We were more environmentally aware of what's, our senses in nature and spending more time involved with our environment, which was the native lifestyle. Native lifestyle is all about movement and, the senses being tuned into your environment. Because that's where how would you say to I'm trying to say nutrition, your food comes from the environment. Oh, it's a big mouthful. There's no questions? No questions.
I'm curious because I noticed that this kind of corresponds to the medicine wheel we usually use with Joseph Real, and I'm curious if the number 4 is associated with the air element in the Mayan 20 count. With the four-legged humans.
Well, you could say that in a way it is, because all the animals breathe.
Exactly, yeah.
You could say that, all sentient beings, creation number 4 is every animal that breathes. So it's associated with the air in that way. Yeah, you see these correlations when you start looking at, the various medicine wheels, if you line them up. Buddhism, you got the Eightfold Path that lays on there. You got the Lakota Wheel of Life. You've got also eight-sided wheel of learning. I don't know. These are Cherokee. Harvest Rifter was Cherokee. They're kind of the easterly tribe, mental. So they got a lot of mental teachings. Out here in the West, we, got more physical stuff. Sundance. Vision questing. Really getting down to the physical. Yeah.
Maybe we're still waiting on the fire a little bit, are we, do you think?
Well, let's put it this way. When we're ready, that fire's ready.
Okay. Maybe I could lead just a short little thing on embodiment right now. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure. And you're also welcome to say, while we're all gathered, simply hear, anything you want to say about the Sweat Lodge.
Okay. First, I would say welcome. First, gratitude to you for holding this lodge and this space the whole time. And it's always good to know if we have anybody who's totally brand new. And there we go. Yeah. And we want you to know it's a gentle, kind of respectful time, and you don't have to stay in there. We'll make sure everything's clear for you, and not to worry. You're able to come out between rounds if you need to. Or sometimes it's good just to lay down if you get hot. And we pass water, so you can also get a drink. But if you can stay in, it's nice to sit in the stew of it. If you do go out, you can stay out around, or you can go out and come back in before the door closes, because the door closes between each round. And if you do decide to sit out around, you can sit by the fire and hold your prayers that way, or sit in nature and hold your prayers. And
You ever come in here if you wish.
yeah, if it's cold out there. And Rutherford Lohman was actually an Arapaho, and he came out to Lopez Island, where I was living in the 80s, and he was like, my people don't want to learn the Sweat Lodge. He was kind of mad about it. And so he had a little talk with his people, and they were like, well, nothing we can do about it. He said, I'm going out and I'm teaching the Sweat Lodge. And people were a little bit mad at him from his tribe, but he was like, the ways have to be remembered. And so that's how we came to Lopez Island and started sharing with people who wanted to sweat. And so I was fortunate to meet him and work with him and study with him. And now I live in the Arapaho lands, which is interesting to me, to be back in this area. Yeah, so always we respect the land and the practices. And they're really from all over. I was talking to a Jewish friend who's very involved in that culture, and he said, well, the Jewish people had sweat lodges too. And it was like, okay, it's a human nature practice. And so not to get caught up in any dogma of defense about practice, but to allow yourself to feel what does the practice do for you, and to respect the offering of the people who passed it on. And so I always am so grateful to Rutherford for his teachings. Yeah, it was amazing. A little moment here. Gratitude. One of the things about what you were talking about, Jeff, is it's so much about perception. You know, the path, you read that book, you figure, oh, you practice those practices, and it shifts your perception. So, today, one of my main other teachings or studies was in sensitivity, in internal, external, body, sound, sight, smell, taste, touch, weight, and pressure. And so I want to just give us a little wake up to that, because we all have reasons we get a little numb. You know, we have reasons we get numb, and that can be from our upbringing, it can be from who reflected to us, it can be from, you know, being overwhelmed and our body couldn't handle it and we just get numb. Or we dissociate and escape. And so a lot of this escaping is also to avoid experiences we still are being called to integrate. And, you know, when you were talking, Jeff, about, you know, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps to your path, that's really what this means, is that your life experiences are you, and how you make meaning and allow it to rest so you're not holding on to it. And allow your nervous system to recalibrate so it's not holding primitive fear or defense structure or ideology. So here, just for fun, take a moment and rub your skin. Just brush your skin. It's like, oh, the skin is our biggest organ. It's our membrane between self and other, between self and environment. And under our skin, we have this healthy fat. And what fat can do for us, fat can actually plump us up when we're depleted. And the eyeballs are fat, and the cell membranes have lipid. And there's fat in our brain. So Einstein had a lot of extra fat. And so every once in a while, if you get too anxious or activated, you can, oh yeah, I've got my fat. To feel that quality of fat. And then we have the fluids of our body. We've got our blood, comes in and goes out. So take a moment and see if you can feel the dignity of your own blood. It's like, wow, the power of it, the dignity of it, the breath of it. And then see if you can feel that flow from your, you know, our heart takes our blood and our capillaries, everything goes out to the end points and back. So that we're circulating beings. We don't have to hold on to energy. In addition to our blood, we have our lymphatic fluid, protects and heals. We have our cerebral spinal fluid that goes up and down through the spine and bathes our nerves. We have these inner supports that are part of the magic and mystery of our creation. And then we get tangible, we have our bones. So knock on your bones. Find a few bones to knock on. Feel that vibration. Oh yeah, I exist. I have my bony self. And bones, literally, it can still change shape. And inside your bones, you've got marrow. You've got that rich blood fat. So your bones aren't, a dry skeleton. They're the structure. And so many people forget how important structure is. So if you're getting too emotional sometimes, you can go, where's my structure? Oh, okay, I was getting caught in the fluids too much, or the emotions. Where's my structure? To stabilize. Because you need that balance of stability and fluidity. And of course, our bones have the skin of the bones. They have the inner life of the bones. And then we have connection internally. So you have internal tensegrity. You have connection across your joints, ligaments, holding the bones together. And so sometimes we need the long path. We need to be able to hold the structure. You need to not get reactive and just hold that emotion for a little while. And add your breath. And so you can use your ligaments to help you, oh wait, I can stabilize and I can hold, right? And then our muscles move us. Our muscles connect from those tendons, ligament tendons, bone to bone. And that's how we move through space. Without our muscles, we don't move through space and we don't celebrate. So take a moment and squeeze your muscles. Ooh, really, squeeze them, and then, stretch them out. Yeah. And do that again, make a little sound when you exhale. Squeeze. Yeah. And then the last one I'll talk about right now is just your organs. The organs are contents and container. It's like, we don't always need to express. Sometimes we need to contain. And this nice blood-filled organ thing. And so the Chinese system has a nourishing cycle called the organ clock. So put your hands on your liver, on the right. And just kind of move it a little, feel it.
Yeah, can you help us locate?
On your right, your liver.
Underneath your rib.
It's
Under ribs, okay.
Yep. It's under your ribs. It also crosses the midline a little and goes around the back. It's a big organ. Your liver is your power. It's your spring growth power. But if it's stagnant, it's your anger. So liver energy, you want to send it to the heart. And the heart, the heart is, it's got some fire. Liver is wood, heart is fire, fire burns wood. Oh, we've got our heart. If the heart gets stagnant, it becomes anxious. It's not just breathing hard, it's like anxious. So it has to move the energy on to the spleen on the left. So the spleen on your left side, up under your ribs there, that's big blood storage. Oh, let your spleen recede. Because the spleen is always worried. If you worry, you might need a little energy from your heart to your spleen. And from your spleen, otherwise, if it's not worry, it's balance. It's equanimity. It's like, it's all right. It'll work out. So from your spleen, come up to your lungs. Up and down. Your lungs are big, right in your back. There's big ones, and up in the front. And those lungs, when the lungs get stagnant, they grief. We hold on to grief. And we get heavy. And the lungs get stagnant. So when the lungs have energy, when you have that grief, you want to move it. Or you want to have that inspiration. And the lungs go to the kidneys. The kidneys are still in front of the spine, but they're down lower in the back. The kidneys are all about awe and wonder of life. The awe and wonder. But if you get caught in fear, the kidneys get stagnant, you're caught in fear. And that will influence everything. There you go. Yeah. Nice kidney area. Just kind of rub them. If you get cold in the winter, it's nice to tie a little scarf around your kidneys, warm them up. And the kidneys, guess who the kidneys feed? They're the mother of the liver. So we've gone all the way around. You can think of this as a little organ clock. And if you're having a rough emotional day, do your organ clock. Because it will disperse that intensity and the stagnation so that you can feel more balanced. You can have that breath for your organ body and a space to exist internally so you're not caught up in your mental body. Yeah. So here we are, all bits of creation. Thank you, Jeff. I just wanted to get a little embodiment before we went into the lodge.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. That was super beautiful.
Yeah.
You wrote that down.
Oh.
Oh, actually,
Maybe we
what
can
I was
make
gonna
copies.
no, what I was gonna do is try because this is my scribbling, but I'm gonna type it and
Oh,
email
good.
it to you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, interesting note, 7 women, 7 men.
Oh, freedom! And you had to focus on freedom, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
So yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about freedom, but all I'll say is this, you know, a major subcomponent of freedom is free time.
Yeah.
And in essence, having free time is important, and what you do with it, it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Take a look at one of those precepts in there. Non-essential speech. And be on your power spot in nature, which is what I chose to do instead of hanging out. I had some nice hangouts though. Yeah, my hash connection was down the hallway from Troopa Rinpoche, and I got to smoke hash with Troopa Rinpoche, you know, in 1972. So, some of our hangouts, you know, it's good to have friends, etc., particularly get, you know, mutual interests. And, yeah, so.
When we do get ready for the lodge, I think I'd like us, if this is okay with you, Jeff, that we leave the Kiva in silence and stay silent until we're in the lodge. And what you can do in that time is be in the nature of our time, of each other, but just kind of quiet. Yeah. And then we'll go in, we'll line up outside the lodge and then go in.
Nice. And women can change here in the Kiva, and men in the house. There's a back bedroom there right opposite the back door. It's works or pretty much anywhere in the house. Anywhere on the main floor of the house. Upstairs is Chris and my bedrooms.
in the heart of maintaining the silence, do you want to separate men and women in the lodge, or is it okay to have everybody line up and not
I'll
work?
think about it. I'll think about it. And if you are new, sometimes, what did you say, where the hot spots are in the lodge?
Well, directly across from the door is the hottest, because you get the air just pushing on you. So whoever sits right across from the door, ha! She likes it hot. Yeah, and if, you know, like she was saying, if you need to lie down, you know, we'll make room, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just put my hands under the outside. You can feel the ground, and it just feels cooler when you touch the ground, and it just helps to cool you off.
And with the snow, we can even have the fire tenders pass in little snowballs. But we should be fine, I think.
Yeah. Do you want
Anything
anybody
anybody wants to say or has a need
Chris
about?
maybe, yeah. Only other thing is, I don't know if you're really into it, you come out and hose off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Feels
saw the
good.
hose with the bird thing. That's
Yeah.
the fire hose, right?
Yeah,
With the bird.
that's what it
Mhm.
is, yeah.
Sounds good.
Does everybody feel ready?
Does anyone have an extra skirt I can borrow?
You can wear
Oh, I do.
those.
Yeah. Yeah, you can come with me.
Yeah, otherwise we got some stuff in
Oh, you
the
guys have
main
the
floor
extra.
bathroom there, yeah. Everybody else sit, swimsuit, towel.
And I guess I should ask, nobody's like on anything right now, right?
Hope not.
I hope not too.
I'm fasting.
Well, if you're on life, that's okay.
Yeah.
Great, all right, and we'll get ourselves ready and meet outside.
My request is to